The fog is lifting. Clarity is calling you forward. Welcome to Forward in Freedom. I'm Tanya Johnson. This is where awareness becomes power. Let's move forward in freedom.
Hello, thank you for joining us today on our episode with my friend LaDonna Carter of over 45 years. And today we wanted to share with you what that 45-year relationship has been like as far as friends, the emotional aspects, the spiritual aspects, just all the things that we've experienced. And I think that would be a great time for you to glean even more about Forward in Freedom. So LaDonna, you're most welcome to the show today. And I think as we have our conversation, we just want to let you know just to speak from the heart, which I know you will. But I think the first question to get us started is when you hear that phrase, Forward in Freedom, what does that look like for you right now?
Forward in freedom means progressing, moving in freedom, designing your own life. I believe we're the author of our lives.
That's good. I like
So
that.
how we move forward is in progression.
That's good. That's great. I think what I heard you say is that I've heard people say that we are the captain of our own ship. And so you're saying that we're the author of our own life. And that's great reiteration because lots of times we want to blame other people. And so by you setting us up nicely by saying, hey, you're the author of your life. So what choices are you making? What are you doing to better your life or to empower yourself or to progress yourself? So that's good. Thanks for mentioning that and sharing that with us. When you think about the word resilience, what have you learned over your lifetime about resilience?
Resilience is a process.
Okay.
In our 20s, we're finding ourselves.
Mhm. True.
In our 30s and 40s, we're navigating towards marriage, relationships, starting our careers, and obstacles come along the way.
Yes, they do.
I said 20s, we're finding ourselves, so you have to get back up when you're knocked down. In our 30s and 40s, how to navigate in the workplace because things will happen. And in our relationships, 50s and 60s, we're kind of somewhat gliding or we should be closing it out soon. And resilience has taught me about be careful about looking back because you might just stay there and you have to move forward. Some people say, don't stop. So resilience is moving and going forward.
That's good. I like how you mentioned the 20s, the 30s. Those are all seasons. And in each season of our life, we want to find ourselves moving forward. We want to find ourselves growing in areas where we need to grow. And I really like how you said, you know, looking back. You know, when we look back, we had a wrong vantage point. We've already lived that part of our lives. So we really want that forward in freedom, momentum and movement, because that's where we continue to grow. That's where we continue to challenge ourselves. So thank you so much for sharing that. I think throughout the 45 plus years of friendship, that's a long time. And so
Yes.
I'm sure people may say, hey, how did you all maintain a 45-year friendship? What does that look like? How were you able to do that? So do you have anything that you would say that has evolved for us throughout the 45 years that would have us to maintain a 45-year friendship? Any thoughts there?
Yes. We met in high school. We were young, but we still are now.
Yes, we are.
And finding ourselves.
Mm.
And your 20s, we were good friends, but you evolve differently, separately,
Yes.
and different moments come into our lives.
Mhm. That's true.
Whether it be marriage, I was there when she got married, whether it be having children. I don't have children, but she has children, our careers. And it's about our friendship evolved with different moments and different things happened in our life. But a friendship is about being supportive,
Wow, that's good.
uh, being a cheerleader. And even if you're not saying there, being silent, but being there to lean on. And we have evolved separately. And at one time our friendships parted, but we came back together.
Yeah,
So you evolve separately, but just having that foundation there.
yeah, that's good. I like how you mentioned the the separate but still coming back together, and the fact that the various seasons, some things we're going to grow together with, some things we may grow apart with. But I want to just appreciate you, like you said, the support and the cheerleader. And yes, you were there for my marriage, which was so phenomenal. And then you also was there for my divorce. And so I appreciate you for that moment in time, because I think in seasons that are challenging, it's good to have a friend. It's good to have that cheerleader. It's good to have that person that's going to be supportive. It's good to have that person that speaks truth over you, that speaks life over you. And I can always count on you for that. So thank you for being a great friend. When you think about giving advice, some people readily give advice, but when you think about giving advice to people, what advice would you give to someone that's currently rebuilding themselves emotionally?
I would say to work on having a positive mindset,
Okay.
having that support system around you, asking for help if you need it.
Yes.
Definitely maintaining your spirituality, religion. So to focus on keeping positive, be careful who you surround yourself with and what you surround yourself with.
Mm,
So your choices.
yeah. The choices are very critical, in the who you hang around and what you are doing in your life. That's very critical, because there's some choices that we make that the impact can truly be life changing. And so it's very important that we make choices, like you're saying, that are going to be something that we can live with, something that we can really say, hey, this is moving me in the right direction. This is allowing me to move forward in freedom. And the people that we hang around, that's very, very critical. And I think for our friendship, it really taught me a lot about friends, and they come and go sometimes in seasons, like you mentioned. But the true friend is sometimes maybe sound a little cornballish, I don't know, but true friends are hard to find, and to have someone that is there for you. And so picking your friends wisely, or picking the people that support you, that's so very, very true. When you think about what you're learning about yourself right now in this season of your life, you know, what would you say that you're learning about yourself right now?
I would say to balance my pillars in my life. And once I make sure that my pillars are strong, that's financial, emotionally, spiritually, physically, as far as health.
Okay,
Once those are in balance, I can live a more fulfilled life.
that's good. That's good.
And it takes a lot to maintain that and try to harmonize them
Mm.
and keep them balanced.
That's great, because as you were sharing about balance, I was thinking about the word intentional. And so, in order to achieve that type of balance, you have to be intentional. When you share your pillars, Is there any one of those that you would say challenged you the most, or that you had to spend a lot of time on, or you had to really put some additional intentionality with? What would you say there?
I was thinking about saying financial. I'm not rich, but let's not focus on that one. I would say emotional.
Okay.
For emotional, when I was younger, I used to worry about things.
Really? Oh,
And I think with life experiences, you get better at that. I'm mostly still working on being impatient.
that one I know about.
I remember one time hearing a sermon that they said, impatience is lack of faith.
Wow. Mm.
Uh, you don't have enough faith in the person that they're going to get to where you want them to be, or you're not waiting and giving them grace to be there. I'm still working on that patience, but through the years, as we get older, we get better emotional. Some of the crises that we're able to come through.
Okay.
So I would say the challenge is emotional. I would say is of all those pillars.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because here on our podcast, Sport and Freedom, we emphasize the importance of handling and being able to navigate emotionally, whether that's in the workplace, in your family structure, or intimate partner. And so when you mention emotionally, that just fits right into what it is that we share week to week with our listeners. So thank you for emphasizing that the emotional aspect was a challenge for you, but you gave us some good insight on how you navigated through that. So we appreciate you so very much. And I wanted to just appreciate you for your friendship. You've been an awesome friend over the years. And I'm glad we have this plant right here, because it's a great visual for me to just sort of highlight this plant would not be as healthy looking as it is without the soil. And so I kind of look at our friendship as having rich soil. And in that rich soil, we were able to really survive the ups and downs. I can always count on you. I can look to you for a friend and support. And so, no matter what the season of life that I happen to be walking through, or the season of life that you happen to be walking through, we were able to get through it. And I know it was because of that rich soil. So I know that in addition to rich soil for a plant, you need the sunshine. And so we've had some sunny days together, of course. And then sometimes there's been some cloudy days. But for the most part, a friendship, I think this plant is a good visual of what a healthy friendship looks like. So again, thank you so much for being a great friend.
You're welcome. And it's just also like sometimes you plant seeds, but they don't flourish
Hmm.
immediately.
Okay.
Later, they blossom. And sometimes we need help. So that's where the fertilizer comes in, or we need to aerate the
Mm,
soil.
that's good.
And then the plant gets stronger and it has vines,
Mm.
and we're able to help each other.
Yes, that's good. And again, that's so true, and that's the value and the richness of the Forward and Freedom podcast, because we want each individual listener to know that you can move forward in freedom and that it is possible. And we invite you to share this episode with someone who's walking a similar journey and that may be looking for that friend, that this episode might be able to help them understand how they too can have a healthy friendship. I'm Tanya J, and this is the walk of walking forward in freedom. Until we meet again, let's move forward in freedom.